squad superior, ain't none above us. We doing numbers. Gang in the building, we taking it over.
First opened back in 1975. There's a look inside the iconic Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Tonight, we wrap up the first 13 weeks of the season with a good Monday nighter between the Dublin Shamrocks and the New Orleans Saints. Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and we are underway from the Superdome. They'll start on the ground here on first down. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Throwing, Young. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up. Here comes the Saints punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. That's returnable now for Smith. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And they will take over first and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And some room to roam now. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Continuing to get that ball down before nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it up to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. On third down, here's Pierce. And some room to maneuver. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 18 yards, a big pickup there on third down. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have you ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
Well, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage.
And he will have a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Shamrocks will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Saints nothing. Jason Sanders set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's got room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
He rifles one that's intercepted. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Well, really not much secret there. 3rd and long, Charles, that he was looking to throw the football. And I would imagine as a defender, you're kind of salivating in that spot, right?
You certainly are, because 3rd and long situations, they tip the scale towards the defense every single time. Now you're actually able to dictate and understand what the offense is trying to do. You know where the first down marker is. You set your defense that way, and maybe you can be a little more aggressive in certain situations because of that. You start focusing on your coverage assignment, and when the ball's released, you break on it and make a play, as we just saw there.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Operating from the gun. McIntyre. Complete. Smith has it.
One thing you're hoping for when you run draw routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and you can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. And in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Going for it with Pierce. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 63 yards rushing for him in this one as he starts to draw nearer to a 1,500-yard campaign. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands and see how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling. "8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple.
second down. Here's Pierce. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folding like a lawn chair. They go backwards there 2 yards, and second and 1 is now 33. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. On third down tonight, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And a missed tackle there as he pushes forward for a gain of 4.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving the guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he is going to lose yardage here. Minus 9 yards on the play, and now it's third down.
The safety position continues to evolve to put the run defense in the pass. They certainly want to have him drop down and get aggressive in bringing ball carriers down behind the line of scrimmage. Not many bigger stops than that one right there.
Swings this one out wide, and it's a fumble. And this is picked up by the Saints. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. If they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get tired, but they were able to get the turnover.
Did you just credit the defense?
I like to credit the defense and the offense.
I like you.
And the analysts.
That's perfect.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Hands it off out of the gun. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And they dipped a game below 500 following the loss last week. And you get the sense that maybe this team's at a little bit of a crossroads here.
Yeah, I think that's a really good way to put it because what's that old malaprop? If you come to a fork in the road, take it. Because this crew, they're losing ground fast. They've got to start winning some ball games. And the good teams, they're starting to separate themselves, and these guys are being left behind.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And he goes out right around the 39. It's a gain of 4, and it gets him the first.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up the first down.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it and stopped him. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Gets through, and now an opening. On the move past the 40. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And they'll use him out in the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 33. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he's got some space here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 96 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Looking to throw. McIntyre. And he's got it. Touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Shamrocks go up by 2 touchdowns. Sanders on for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score Shamrocks 14, Saints nothing.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you.
Young loses it. And this is picked up by the defense. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with unavoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And he is all the way up past the 25.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he's going to have a first down, but not sure it'll matter as the clock will continue to run. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On 1st and 10, McIntyre. This will go to Henry out wide. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime.
At the 46-yard line.
To throw on second down. McIntyre. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Back to throw. McIntyre. Over the middle to Smith. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Sanders is good. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
Will Lutz, the kickoff for New Orleans.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. On first down, McIntyre. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes his sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he'll get this past the 20 as he gets about 4. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Hand off right side to Pierce. So a decent gain there on the play, but that all gets wiped out with a penalty.
Well, that's a setback, but all the good play callers, they just move on. They find something else in the playbook that can attack this defense, and they go right back on the offensive on this play.
Looking to throw on second down. McIntyre. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. So good work there on the defensive side for the first drive of the second half.
Yeah, and until their offense can get into rhythm, their defensive players and staff have got to say to themselves, we've got to make it work. We've got to stand in here and make sure nothing else happens until our guys start moving the ball.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
Young on third down. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. 67 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. Options galore here, second and a few inches. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll go down at the 28. 7 yards there and a first down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. From the gun, they'll try to run it. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's second and 2. Now here's a little touch pass as they tap it quickly to their receiver. And he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on third down. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And this time he is in. A great effort there. His 7th rushing touchdown of the year. And the Saints are able to cut into that deficit. The Young's going to throw for this. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they take that deficit a bit further. Well, still not put a bang for here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples throughout a ball game. There's a great example right there.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a first and 10. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. If it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
And tackled down after a gain of 3. Losing with 1 yard to go on third down.
Gives you a second for the man in the middle because his ability to look through the play that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And they'll go right back to Pierce. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. Give him 2 on the play there, and it'll give him the first down.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running.
They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Pierce gets this one running right. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Well, you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Throwing on third and long. McIntyre. And that is incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
They bring their punter out there now as he'll kick it away for the second time. This is taken at the 18. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
And right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've gotten pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, playing the same tempo, the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
From the 30 on second down, Young. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Channing Tindall. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that pushes the lead up to 23. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
Fair catch made at the 25-yard line. The Saints take over first down 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it second down. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, and defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Hands it off out of the gun. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
From the 44, Young. The pass caught by Olave. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
It's a gain of 8. That's good.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Young. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Javon Holland. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games we just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 123 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on. Another carry for Pierce. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
A big run there, 29 yards and a first. Pierce now up the middle, runs over it. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup. Brings up 2nd and 3.
Give to Pierce. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And they'll indeed take a knee. And they will take a knee here. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12. A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. And they take a knee. So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors, and I think the game balls need to be distributed on the defensive side of the football, and I bet that you would agree.
Yeah, if you hold a team under 10 points, that's a job well done, really well done. So I would say game balls for every starter and every key player who participated in this game.
Now, see, I only like one game ball. You're handing out multiple, although I set you up by saying game balls, plural, but I
like where we're going with this. You say one to represent, like the best player of all of that. And I say multiples so that you keep everyone motivated and involved.
You're a man of the people.
I'm a man of the people. I thought I was the only child.
You get a game ball, and you get a game ball. Game balls for everybody. So for our visitors, the win gets them back to 500 at 6-6 on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the New York Jets. Meanwhile, for the Saints, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall to 3-9. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Here to dance at the beginning, so you know it's only right, that's how we end it. Came all the way from losing to winning. Yeah, I did it, but it ain't just me, it's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Know when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. It's the whole team. Share it with the whole team. Congratulate the whole team. Know when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no I in this. Tell them line it up. Like a 4th and 1, we sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense, now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, give it straight, that's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it here, now it's exciting. See, they just getting cake, they ain't never gonna get no ice. And all we want is chips, ring fingers looking